Well, what's up guys? Coming at you from the jungle of Florida, and I had the awesome opportunity to recently hit the backcountry with my buddy Aaron from Hotenera Outdoors, as well as his buddy Randy, and they took me for an overnight out here in the backcountry of Florida, and we just had a blast. And the midweight survival knife that I took with me is something that is absolutely punching way above its weight class, and I'm talking about the LionSteel M7. Look at this blade, guys. I'm 25% Italian, and my Italian bloodline is tingling right now for this Italian-made blade. I mean, you can just see how, look at that. If that doesn't scream power, I don't know what does. And picking this up saying, you know what, I'm gonna go with this and not try to do a double, blade system for hanging out in Florida was a great choice, because this thing, I'm just gonna stop talking about it. Let's freaking look at it and see what it can do. Okay, man, look at that shape. I mean, that reminds me of like a B-17, Flying Fortress right there. Coming in hot to your campsite, to your survival situation, and it will just carpet bomb the vegetation of your campsite, and is gonna take care of biz nos. And guys, this thing has been destroying the wilderness with its capability. So what we're looking at here is from handle to tip 7 inches, cutting edge is 6 inches. That back spine is going to be 0.22 on the thickness. So not quite 1/4 inch, definitely over 3/16. Awesome. Because of the edge geometry and all the stuff we're going to talk about in a second, I mean, it's just this beautiful blending of power. Great high saber grind, very high saber grind. Beautiful edge geometry. Probably looking at like 25 each side. 20-25 is what I kind of guesstimate. Really good, strong tip, and just wow.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like butter?
Yeah, like nothing. It wasn't even any effort. It went through like kind of a knot right here, and then just blasted. Look at that twist,
dude.
It just blasted right through. There was actually no resistance. So right through that knot. Wow. There's a knot. Oh, this thing is insane. Dude, this is insane. It's so sharp, dude. I'm like barely running it on the wood.
Look at those paper. I mean, those are like so thin.
Yeah, it's like paper.
Now this is on a satin blade. They do have some versions that do have some form of kind of a smoked coating on there. This Sleipner steel is basically a cold worked tool steel in the family of D2, but has more chip resistance and wear resistance than D2 does. So it's a tougher form of D2 basically. And I am in Florida right now, very high humidity the day that we were doing a lot of testing. And no rust. I mean, that's super impressive. So I wouldn't say per se a stainless, but it is fighting off the rust much better than most high carbons. This one is rock welded at 60 to 61 is what I'm seeing. And it's holding an amazing, amazing edge.
That sucker is smooth. And that edge is like, I can't even see like I can't even see a micro ding in it. Like there's nothing. Like after smashing, it feels just like when we took it out of the sheath yesterday. It's like there's nothing wrong with it.
Now I know at this point you guys are like, dude, that is one epic blade. What possibly epic belt could be supporting such an awesome, powerful tool? And that's an easy answer. It's my Grip 6 belt. Guys, if you're new to the channel, I gotta tell you about this. If you're not, you know, and why haven't you picked up these American-made micron adjustable belts? These things are awesome. They are friction held together to keep your pants up. They're completely adjustable, regardless if you're putting, heavy weight survival knife, some other gear item on you. It's amazing to have that. I've actually had the opportunity to go to their facility and see how everything is built. And it was awesome to not only be able to meet the owner, but the crew there and see how they make these these American products, but also the other things that they're starting to dip their toe into, like American sourced wool socks. My wife particularly, she's like, those are the only socks I will wear. And I've used them now all the way from the very top peaks of the Rocky Mountains and the Wind River Range, all the way down here now into the humid jungles of Florida. And I love their wool socks. And then they got wallets, and they're always coming out with new stuff, all made right here in America. So I encourage you guys, check out that hyperlink in the description box below. See what Grip6 has to offer, and I know you guys won't be disappointed. Now this is the third or fourth blade I have now with Sleipner steel. I'm really liking it. You're getting something that's fighting off the rust better than high carbon will, holds its edge a lot better than like your 1095s and stuff like that, and from all my experience is very tough. And they've just really designed it super well to get a lot of those woodworking tasks done, survival knife tasks done, shelter building, fire prepping, all of that stuff, and I'm able to still use it for the finer woodworking as well. All right, so that's great, but what about the handle? I mean, if the blade, you know, is kicking butt, but what if it's just like holding a brick or something, or, you know, causes hot spots, that type of stuff? Well, this is in line with several of LionSteel's other designs, which is amazing. I mean, this is more delicious than your grandma's homemade cannolis, guys. I mean, wow, is this thing awesome. And you may notice here that we have a full tang construction, but there's no exposed tang out the back here on that scale. That's because this is one solid piece of micarta that they have canoed out, dropped the full tang construction of the blade in, 3 screws that have been recessed in, so no hot spots there, no issues there. And then it gives you just a level of comfort with a rounded spine that's basically flush with the micarta, slight ribbing on that micarta as well, so you get awesome traction. You got a nice palm swell, over 5 inches on that micarta handle. And look at that guard, guys. That guard is massive. It's almost so big. It, you know, if they even brought it down a little bit to match like the edge length, that would have been totally fine. It's huge, so you are not going to be riding up and hurting yourself. You can see there, you basically have 3 distinct grips. You have a massive choil right there that allows you to then get really good control over the tool and really, you know, manipulate it like a smaller blade. And, you know, you're not even close to nicking your finger. Can't tell you how many times on blades, you know, you go in to grab that choil for the first time and you nick your finger because of just the way it's designed. Not the case on this, just because it's so massive. And the micarta is all rounded around that guard, so it doesn't feel weird or sharp or anything like that. But then you can back up here and do your general use. And my buddy Aaron actually was so surprised. He didn't realize he was not holding the choil because of how well he could even manipulate the tool here.
Now I'll keep going. I didn't even realize I wasn't using the choil, so now I'll continue.
So that's how organic it was.
Yeah, it was just so like smooth and sharp. So now I'll move my hand up so I can get even a little more control.
Those things are like just so
and this thing, oh gosh, that's way better. It's like super stable, and you can just hold right to that, where that grain is. Yeah, this is a very comfortable knife. I'm really blown away by this thing right now, and I'm like super picky about knives. Dude, I'm like not even pushing on this thing. I'm literally just feeling where the edge is, and it just goes.
And that's just going to give you the slashing, the medium motor skills, if you will, the easy hacking, you know, light stuff like that. Very, very good. And then you definitely have that backup grip for chopping to get the power that you need with a very gradual bird beak, so it's not sharp. Everything is rounded. The micarta back there. Then you have that nice pommel, large lanyard hole, so you can still do non-lethal strikes and or hammer in a tent peg if you had to. Something like that is just excellent. It is so excellent and not blocky at all, but not narrow, you know, in the neck or something. It just fills out my large size hand so nicely that it's a delicious 3-point section to use. So on to the sheath, which has more trimmings than your favorite Supreme pizza, seriously. What we have here is a pancake kydex, and it does have Allen head screws all the way around. To be honest, I kind of wish they were Phillips, just because I would tend to have a multi-tool on me more than an Allen wrench, but I mean, it's not a deal breaker by any means, so that you can either completely remove the Cordura fabric backer, or you can rotate it ambidextrously. Now this backer has not only MOLLE tabs down here that are rigid with snaps, it also has the same up here that are rigid with snaps, so you can put it to an LBE system, strap it onto a MOLLE compatible pack, or just run it on your belt, which is how I've basically been carrying it. Then what you have here is a button snap that really holds that sucker into place. That's very, very nice. Pops open, it rotates, and as a little party trick, removable as well if you want to do that. Now, the sheath's not perfect. What I found was that there's definitely, if you remove that snap, some back and forth right there, and you know, it's pretty loud. So there's definitely some slapping going on. Now, it will not go past that point without leverage, right? Now I have to snap and pull to push off that little thumb ramp to then get it to deploy. So I don't know why it's that loose. It shouldn't be that loose. It's in there, but it just moves. There's just a lot of tolerances. But then the weird thing is that unless I put it up against this track right here, so if I do that and kind of point the tip at an angle, it'll slide in. Usually I'm trying to do this on frame, there we go, without issue. But if I just kind of go at a general angle, it binds up down here and will actually get like locked. And I really kind of have to play with it, and you can see there it's kind of bound up now. It'll remove a little Kydex on the edge. Again, it's harder because I'm doing it at this weird angle with you. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So as long as I kind of do this, it's almost like a half crescent moon sweep into the sheath, no problem, but it kind of binds up. And to be honest, I just don't have a lot of Kydex sheaths that ever have that kind of issue. So the options, the fact that it's Kydex, it's ambidextrous, and when it's locked in, you know, it's there. And when it comes to deployment, super smooth and easy every single time, but putting it back in is a little weird. I don't like that. It shouldn't be the case. So I would say it's okay, but it would have been perfect if it didn't have that kind of binding up wonkiness that I'm experiencing. Now that might just be my model. Now pricing is pretty impressive as well. It goes as low as about $210 for the model that you see here to about $250 if you go with, say, like the coated version, and it just kind of depends on where you find it, where you pick it up. The handle scale colors as well as coating or uncoated will also determine just pricing. But for just over $200, you're getting this massive slab of steel and all of the contouring, the fit and finish, the quality of the blade, and still a really good overall Kydex sheath system is extremely impressive. I will have a bunch of links for you guys below, not only over to Bladehq, Gpknives, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Amazon as well, so you can kind of take a look, see what prices are available and what options are currently available on the M7. Well, there it is, guys. I mean, this tool is extremely capable and can really compete with much larger tools if you don't need them to really do machete, like slicing through greenery work. It can definitely do that. It just doesn't have the long, you know, blade that would allow you to just get more reach. But for heavy chopping, batoning, but still carving and whittling and shelter, just all the things that we've looked at, and being able to hold an edge much longer than your basic high carbons like 1095, and not going to rust as fast as those type of blades either, and just having the strength and durability that we're seeing. I mean, wow, does LionSteel know how to make a tool, man. So I look forward to hearing your guys' comments. If you have any questions, if you own one, what's your take? I always love seeing the comments below. Really appreciate you guys so much. I invite you to check out the other video popping up, to subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber here at the channel. Always throwing up content like this. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.